There's going to be people of means who are going to travel. And then there's going to be people maybe who, of lesser means who might actually be able to use an Oculus or a Magic Leap or some other kind of device to travel to the same place, but from their own couch. But in many ways, it's actually going to create even more distance between those two people. That psychologically, and I think that we've experienced this through social media. In many ways, it's brought people closer in certain ways, but actually created this remarkable divide because it's even more visible, actually, the divide in certain ways.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God, Bahashem, which means in the name, Yahweh Shai, which means He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites, all right? Now, what brings us to our discussion / topic tonight is the evilness of the wicked. The evilness of the wicked, okay? And they're just doing what they were created to do, all right? Because although what you heard may seem like some type of dystopia, as they were saying in this meeting that they had in Davos, if I'm not mistaken, or wherever they held the World Economic Forum, that what? The rich will be able to travel, whereas the not so fortunate or the poor will have to what? Experience travel, as he said, through an Oculus, which is a VR, virtual reality headset, or some other device, okay? Now, what do you think that other device is going to eventually become? It's going to become what? The mark of the beast, okay? And only the rich will be able to actually travel physically, whereas you, the lesser tier class, are going to have to experience things second hand, okay? A la virtual reality, okay? Because that's what that charagma is going to be. It's going to be a knockoff rendering of reality, but you're going to have to experience through what? Second hand, someone else's, okay? You're not going to get the full experience, all right? And they're going to use all type of excuses. We got to cut back on emission. We got to cut back on this. We got to cut back on that. We don't have enough fuel to fuel or gas up the airplanes or what have you or whatever, okay? And the prices are going to be to the point where you can't even afford to travel. So guess what? You and your family that was planning that Disney vacation down in Orlando, y'all going to have to experience through what? Virtual reality, VR, or what we know to come to be as what? The mark of the beast. Because that's where everything is headed to, okay? Now, he said, from the comfort of your couch, but more than likely it's going to be from a confined space of a whatever they want to call it, house, a small house, or what have you. See? And this is what's coming, all right? And this is what they've been planning for, all right? In these what? Think tanks, all right? They project the future 10 to 15 years out. So for him to come out and tell you this, they already got the outcome, how they want to go about achieving those results. So this is the book of Psalm, chapter 64, and verse 2. It reads, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. See? What do you think they do in these councils? These behind closed doors meetings. All right? Wicked, evil, okay? Oppression. How do you think they're going to obtain their goals? They're not going to just allow you to freely walk into it, they're going to stage things. Okay? They're going to put things into effect that is going to leave you with no other choice. Okay? Because it ain't going to be no middle class in this up and coming new world order. It's either poor or what? Rich. Rich or poor. Free or bond. It ain't going to be no in between. Okay? So you could throw that out the window. All right? You could throw that. That American dream ain't no more, man. All right? They're doing away with the middle class as we speak, man. Okay? These tickets to fly is going to be prices like we never seen before. And don't think you could get away with it and say, well, we're going to load up the family car and drive down to Disney. Well, guess what? If gas is $10 a gallon, how far are you going to get if you live somewhere in the Midwest? If you live somewhere up north and you're trying to come down to Disney and gas is $15 a gallon nationwide. See? They're going to phase out you traveling. That's going to be a commodity. Okay? You're going to be reduced to stay in your little 4x5 or 8x8 confinement and be happy and experience life through what? An Oculus or that device, which we know it's going to be that what? RFID microchip, either the one they put in your hand or the one that they give you to put inside your brain. All right? And that's how you're going to experience the so-called quote-unquote experiment, the life. Because you ain't going to be living, okay? You're not going to be living. But see, they know this. They know they got you sheep, you useless eaters by the balls, man. Because you don't have anywhere else to go to. You're not the sheep of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai's flock. All right? So you ain't going to be taken care of unless you of the elect. See? So guess what? Your fate has already been designed for you. All right? If you're not of the elect, get prepared for that. Because your fate has already been decided for you. Okay? If you're of the elect, you ain't going to succumb to that. All right? The Lord's going to take care of you. All right? But if you're not, Oculus, and then eventually the brain chip. That's going to be your vacation. That's going to be your work. See? Now, don't get it twisted. The rich, they're going to have the chip too. But see, theirs is going to be a little bit more leeway. They're going to have a little bit more freedom to move about, okay? So it's going to be either rich or poor, man. It ain't going to be no in between. So it says Psalm 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. See, this is all they do. All right. It says they wake up thinking about evil. All right. It says, we might have to get that precept too. It says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. See? So they're not just speaking this just to be saying it, just to sound sensationalized. They're going to actually do it. Okay? Because in their mind, they feel like no one can stop them. Who's going to stop us? All right? We got technology on our side. See? That's when Yahweh Shai shows up. All right? As soon as they make that microchip mandatory, that's about as far as they're going to get. They ain't going to get this new world order, this beast system off the ground like they think they're going to get. All right, that's why it says, if those days weren't shortened, there would no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See? And that's why it's coming to an end, man. That's why this devil is moving in such haste. Okay, because why? He only has but a short time. So he's putting it out there because why? At this point, he don't got nothing to lose. He got to go for broke. See? He got to. Because why? This truth is exposing him consistently and constantly, daily, nightly, 24/7, 365. All right? So at this point, the cat's out the bag. He going for broke, man. He's telling you what he's doing. Okay? He's making it seem like it's something sensational. But when you actually in it and you can't move like you think you can, and you think that it's going to be a middle class, you're going to see it's a whole different ballpark. When you got a curfew, when you got lockdowns, this is all what's coming. All right? This is what that devil is telling you. That alongside that Oculus and that device, you're going to have curfews, you're going to have lockdowns, energy lockdowns, and you ain't going to be able to move from city to city. See? Traveling is going to be a luxury in that day. And only the rich is going to be able to afford it where they can actually move, actually travel. Okay? The poor, you're going to have to be confined to a small space, almost like a jail cell. Okay? So it says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. See? So they're not gonna succeed. They're only gonna get to a certain level, and then the Lord's gonna show up, man. All right. Soon as they make that chip mandatory, the missiles are gonna come, and the end of his kingdom is gonna be spelled. All right. With what? The second coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. So it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. See, to them, this ain't nothing. All right. It's just another day in the office. But see, according to the word, this is an evil matter. All right. Because you should not have any other God before you. See, so this is only for the elect of Israel, Yasharallah, Prince of the Power, these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, the 2/3 and the other nations, they gonna take it. Now, the 2/3 of our people, they gonna come back into the kingdom in their right mind. But on this side, they gonna have to be destroyed. And the other nations, well, guess what? When they come back, they gonna be in slavery. Okay? So it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. See? How you think they're going to get people to take this? They're going to spring a snare, a trap. All right? Some type of polycrisis, some type of red flag, some type of black swan event. And you're going to think it's just organic, but it's going to be a snare. It's a trap. And it'll look like we walking into it. All right. It looked like they spring in that snare, that trap, as we speak, with these prices going up, with no relief in sight. All right. So that's why it says what? See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as what? Wise, redeeming the times. Because why? The days are evil. See, Esau is really getting ready to get loose. All right. He's getting ready to show his horns. Okay, and you're going to see who this devil is. See, and you ain't going to be able to say, oh, now you're going to see exactly who Esau Edom is in that day. See, because right now, you going in between so-called white man and Esau. He's Japhet. Okay, we're going to see who is Esau, who is Japhet. All right. Esau is the so-called white man. All right. And he finna show you. Because Japhet ain't got this type of power. The so-called Samoan, the Hawaiians, they ain't doing this. You don't see them up in Davos, up in the World Economic Forum. You see Esau, man. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? See? They don't think nobody. See, this is why this truth is important, man. Because without it, we wouldn't see it, okay? We'll walk right into that snare, that trap, and be what? God. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. See? They do diligently. They cross their T's and dot their I's, man. But they get sloppy because why? Time isn't on their side. See? So they got to move. They got to move quick too. So they going to get sloppy, but nevertheless, they got to bring it out. They got to they got to tell you what they're going to do, the revelation of the method. All right, they put it in your face. All right, now they just being brazen with it and telling you. You're gonna have to use some type of Oculus, which is a virtual reality headset, or some other device. What do you think that some other device is? It's gonna be that chip. And more than likely the one that you put in your brain. See? So it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. See? They meditate on this shit, man. Because this is what Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai made them to do as the wicked. That's why they call the wicked. Okay? And they only doing what the Lord created them to do, man. Vessels fitted for destruction. All right? So it says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. See? In the fullness of his of him filling his belly, the Lord should put him in straits. Roughly paraphrasing, I believe that's in Job 20. Let's see if we can grab that right quick. Like, see, because this devil, despite what he thinks in his diligent research, he ain't going to be able to get off. But so far, so this is Job 20 in verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. See? So right when he get ready, in the fullness of his sufficiency, just when he getting shit really going, it says, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. See? Now when you jump up to verse 20, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desire. See? So he really want this place to be in some type of complete and utter wickedness. But it's only going to be able to go but so far. Because why? Even the Lord has his bounds. See, Esau can't pass his bounds, man. The Lord set these bounds and he can't go past them. See? And the Lord is held by his word. So Esau, he only got but so far, man. He can't go past the bounds. Okay? I believe that might be Job 14. Okay? See if we can get that. Yeah, Job 14 and 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See? So the Lord already had this man cutoff date and he ain't going past it. So even if he wanted to, he can't because the Lord got his number, man. All right? And no one gets away from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. So this devil is only going to be able to go but so far, man. When he feel his belly, it says what? Let's go there and read it. Job 20 in verse 20. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desire. Because the Lord has already put his bounds, okay? And he's only going to be able to get but so far. It says, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, man. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. That's when the missiles come, man. See? All he got to do is make that microchip mandatory, and the Lord gonna take care of the rest, man. Because he got Gog, Magog, Russia, he got China, he got Turkey, he got Iran, he got all these nations, and then the Lord so cold with it, he got NATO and EU that's going to turn on America, and they going to shoot their missiles on him, pursuant to Revelation 17. All right, the 10 horns shall hate the whore, man. So this place, America, Babylon the Great, is a wrap, man. All right, it's a wrap. It's through, okay? We just waiting for prophecy to play out, and it's looking good. It's looking promising, man. We right here at the end. We just got to continue to endure, Lord willing, Abaratasa, so that we can be found worthy to be part of that number. So it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. See? So as soon as he thinking he getting that plate full and get ready to get a second helping, nope. The Lord gonna rain down them damn missiles, man. See? So the Lord, hey, nobody gets away from the Lord, man. All right? The Lord planned this thing all the way out from the beginning. See, we just living it out in real time. Okay? So let's go back to Psalm 64 and pick up. This is Psalm 64 in verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. See? He got them bounds, man. They ain't going to pass. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, right? And you got these whistleblowers, that are Edomites that's saying and telling. Just look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, man. How she's coming out now and saying how she got text messages on Trump talking about how if he was to release the Epps files that, a lot of his cronies and associates and pretty much friends, they would feel the full brunt. So they not like as other men, okay? As the scriptures say, they don't answer like other men, so they're not gonna be held accountable. But see, when the Lord shows up, they're gonna get sentenced, man. They're gonna get that judgment. They're gonna be the first crop of slaves that Yahweh takes into slavery, man. And they're gonna have what? That continual employment. All right. It's gonna be the nobles, the kings, all right? Those are gonna be the first crops of slaves, man. So it says, verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of the Most High. For they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. See? So this is what we land our faith and our trust in, is this word. All right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You see? This is all we have, man. Okay? So we're going to continue to trust and have faith and believe. All right? Because we know these damn devils, man. That's all they do, is search out diligent how to be what? More wicked. All right? And now they just coming out with it, man. All right? And telling you, this is the way of the future. Either you rich and you could travel, or you poor and you got to experience it secondhand. Okay? Ain't no in between. Revelation 13:6, he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor. There was no middle in the in between. It said rich and poor, not rich, middle, and no, rich and poor. That's it. All right. So let's go there. I believe that's Micah, where it says he wakes up. This is Micah 2:1. Woe to the oppressors. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. See? This is what they do. They work evil upon their beds. They search out a diligent search, even in their sleeps. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. See? And the Lord gave them the earth. Job 9:24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. See? But it's just for a little time, man. All right, the devil should be. It says, what's that? Revelation 20, that Satan should be loose for a little season. He in his little season right now. See, so he got to search out that diligent search, man. Because why? Soon Yahweh Shai is on his way back, man. And he gonna take his ass and put him into what? Slavery, man. All right, beginning with these elites. All right, the nobles, the kings, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your DuPonts, your DuPont, your Chase, your Morgan, J.P. Morgan, all these bankers, man. All right, and ones we don't know about. They don't get away with it. See? So it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And guess what? In this new world order, this beast system, you ain't gonna have shit, man. Your house, your car, all that is getting taken away with. All right? They're doing it incrementally, okay? Gradually. All right? Now they're working on the fact of taking your vehicle away from you and replacing it with what? Self-driven vehicles. All right? And then I seen a video of a vehicle, I believe it was an electric vehicle truck, that they removed the steering wheel and the gas and brake pedals because why? You didn't have no say-so in the matter, okay? That's where we head to. They're going to take, it says what? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, see? So you could say, you could kiss your house goodbye, all right? Unless you rich, all right? If you poor, are you teetering on the verge of being poor and middle class? They're going to make that decision for you. They're going to bump up that inflation, that interest rates, and it's going to knock you down to the poor class, man. All right, your house you thought you had a 30-year mortgage, a 50-year mortgage, you might well chalk that up, man. Okay? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. See? What you think? It says in 2nd Ezra, then shall it be known who are my people. See? They're going to cast some of you out of your houses, man. And then shall it be known who are my people. Because what are you going to do to keep your house? Are you going to take the chip? A lot of our people are, man. Because why? They don't have faith. And the Lord isn't dealing with them. So it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. See? You can't have nothing in this kingdom, man. In this wicked kingdom, you don't have nothing. Your house, don't pay your tax, and they taking your house. The bank is going to foreclose on it. Don't pay your insurance, and see if you don't go to jail for driving without it. See? You can't get nothing in this place for free, man. Soon they're going to put a trademark on breathing air, a quality of air. See? Oh yeah, come to the smart city. We got fresher air for you to breathe. Because why? It isn't polluted with all these toxins from these cars. Now we got it where it's emission free. See, but what is it going to cost you to have a better quality of life? You're going to have to take that chip. See? This is where we heading. And I know, especially if it's your first time hearing this is a lot to take in. But see, this is what we're preparing ourselves for. Okay, this is what the Lord is going to perform miracles for those of us that he called and chose from the beginning and ordained. Okay? So it says, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. See? So, hey, sitting at your couch, watching, a vacation on an Oculus VR headset, that's going to be the least of your concerns, man. Life is still going to be good at that time, basically. But wait till the other device come around where they're going to put it inside your hand, your head or your hand. That's when it's going to be, you're going to have to worry about. See, but the elect, we ain't going to have to worry because why? The Lord going to take care of us, man. And we just got to pray that we of that number. All right? So just continue to stay locked in, continue to endure, pray to the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, that he gives you the strength. And as it says, James 1 and 5, if any man lack wisdom, let him pray to the one that gives it. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. Because we going to need it. All right? We going to need the Lord to direct and guide our paths in the times that's coming, man. You can't be out here franticing and making moves on your own, because that ain't you. That's who? Satan. Either you making moves on the behalf of Satan or Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Ain't no in between. See? That kills that whole free will, man. All right? Either the Lord is directing you or he's allowing you to be misguided and misdirected by who? Shaitan or Satan. All right? So we just got to pray that the Lord gives us the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding according to his heart, his word. All right? And we can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with the Lord directing your paths. All right? Because they're going to all lead to what? Fruit. Okay? They're going to bear what? Fruit. All right? They're not going to wither away. All right? So let's go ahead and finish up and close out and read 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober. See? Be vigilant. All right? Now the Lord made these devils to reveal exactly what they've been discussing and planning for years on end. The Lord making them come out and say it. Now this is more than enough to give the, members of the elect, those that are fighting to endure to the end, a foresight to see exactly how they're going to go about doing it and what they want to do. They don't just say this just to put it out there in the ether. They say it because they've been planning it and thinking about it. All right? Now, they ain't going to tell you how they're going to achieve those results. But see, the Bible is going to tell us, man. All right? We know that he's going to come down with what? Great wrath. Revelation 12 and 12. So shit's going to get real. All right? You ain't just going to walk into it. He gonna make you earn it, man. Okay? He's going to make you crave to get that chip. Because why? You ain't going to eat. You ain't going to drink. You ain't going to travel. You ain't going to do nothing without it. All right? And he knows that. See? But see, the elect, we pray we part of that. We ain't going to have to compromise and take it. Because why? The Lord is going to provide for us. All right? Even in our most vulnerable time, the Lord is going to provide for us, man. That's when he's going to come through with the miracle. When you don't think there's no way, the Lord going to show up and show you, hey, I got that. I got you. Okay? You good. I got you. Because why? You kept my word. Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept my word in patience, I will also, let's read that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and let's see, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, when they implement that microchip, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? So we believe this, all right? Because we see it coming to pass. So we have no doubt that the Lord is going to keep us, all right? Just got to continue to endure. Because if you fall out and go back into the world, all your works are going to be forgotten. The Lord ain't going to keep you. You got to endure to the end. So 1 Peter 5 and 8 says what? Be sober, be vigilant. See? Continue to endure. All right? Continue to endure. It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? He want to get you with that chip. Okay? He want to lay that snare privily, so you can walk into it. And then it's going to spring and you finish, man. As soon as you take that chip, that's it. Ain't no trying to get it out and take it back. Oh, I got something to eat. Now I'm good. Nah, man. You finished, man. He can shut your electrolytes off. Turn the lights off on your ass, man. See? As soon as he get you to come down on your own behalf, because the Lord ain't dealing with you, and put your hand and get that chip or get your chip in the head, your brain, do the surgery, whatever, you through. That's it, man. Okay? You just gotta wait for your train to come pick you up. All right? Via, if you hear in Babylon the Great, those missiles, they got your boarding pass and everything waiting on you. Yep. So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. All right? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. Hey, we're almost home. Shalom. Peace.